I had some things I had to get done. Nothing serious. It just was in the middle of something and I wanted to finish before I got on the show. Actually, I didn't realize it was as late as it was, to be honest with you. But I'm here. No one's here, but that's okay because uh, I'm just gonna say the pledge and play the music, and then we'll get into the prayer and the children and everything else. But you might as well just play the music as we're doing this. So I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd work for all my life, and I had to start again, just my children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, where the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, oh, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, and New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say, oh, and I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave their right to me. And I'd rather stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. God bless this country. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. God bless the USA, and glad to see a lot of people come on. And there was no one on when I first came on. I was a couple minutes late, guys, and I do apologize for it. I got busy. Doing some things, and time just got away from me. So since no one was on, I went ahead and did the pledge and the song, so that way we can get into the show and that. But I do want to say the prayer because we have someone that needs prayer with us tonight. She may be with us, she may not, but she's hurting very bad from what I understand. So, dear Lord, as we come to you tonight and start the end of the show that ends the week, hopefully, Lord, this isn't going to be the show that ends the week, though. Hopefully, we're going to have shows on Saturday and Sunday because of the great things that's about to happen. Lord, we stand here with you and all the people on here that, a lot of them, since I've been sick, I have not been talking to as much as I normally do. But, I pray for each and every one of them every day. But Tina is She's our concert girl. That's what I kind of know her by, as the concert girl. And Ron looked at me today, Lord, and said that she wasn't doing well. That like her whole body is closing down, and that's not fun. Just went through that, and it is not fun at all. And Tina, Lord, we come to you for Tina to be in our prayers, and all of your prayers tonight, and you to put an angel on her shoulder and help her get better. And Lord, there's Dana, not 1111, who had wrote me a message the other day, and she's having trouble with her eyes, and she really needs our help. And then we always have, Renee and Jimmy, who are desperately waiting for this help. And Lord, we know that you're about ready to bring everything that we've all been waiting for so long. And we just pray to you, Lord, for each and every person here in our family, in our group, and anybody who needs your help all over, that you bring angels down to them. Let them sit on their shoulders until they're healed and doing good. And then we'll go into this glorious new world of yours, heaven on earth. And we pray to you through our Savior, your Son's name, Jesus Christ. Amen and amen. So everyone, where do I begin? There's so many places I could go. But I want to address something first. And that is the fact that I don't like the way people do things. I think the world of Bruce. I think the world of Bruce's shows and the information he brings us and the excitement he brings us. But I don't agree with what Bruce does, that he has sold products. The selling products through Bob, that's a business. I have no problem with that. But to sell through Sue, if you really love your people, you give them that information. And still, when we could got the 800 numbers tonight, according to Bruce, still in his show, he had to promote Sue's business. But now my question is here, and this is I got thinking of this. I got talking to God today, and this question just popped in my head. Sue is charging for first rate, however Bruce announces it, state of the art or whatever. But how does she know? And I've asked this question, and nobody will answer it. How does she know? If, they could get me to shut up totally about this. All they got to do is come and say, Sue has met with Redemption people, and they've told her this. They do that, even if it's a lie, I don't care. But you can't know that you're doing everything perfect. So what if I go out and I spend the $400? I know there's a few people in this group that have. I keep scratching my head why, but I never say anything to anybody about how they manage their affairs. Their affairs is your affairs. But if I spent the whatever amount of money and I go there and what she's selling me isn't true, wow. All the money that all the people that she sold this to, as much as I hate to say it, because I like Sue, I like Bob, I like Bruce, but are they opening themselves up for some long things in certain houses later on? I don't know. All I know is we work together here as a team, and if people who wanted the information, we give it to. We don't say it's the top rate. We say it's from what we're being told, this is what you need to do. And that's all we can do. That would be like people coming on saying, well, Ralph, you lie about everything you say. And I've been accused of that. And in most cases, I do. Now, if I'm telling a family story or a story about a doctor, I'm going to tell you a story about a young lady as soon as I finish the Bruce story. And one other one. So that covers Bruce, and I'm not gonna talk anymore about Sue and Bruce and that, because I'm moving up. I'm done. But the last thing I want to talk about is the one girl who she's going to be filmed when she's on the thing. Guys, I went back and I listened to what she's saying. Now, I've never been asked to be filmed, and I don't expect to be asked to be filmed. Don't want to be filmed. I just want to get on the beds. But more so, instead of me worrying about getting on the beds, and I could use them, and Ron could use them, and a lot of us could use them. But we have little Jimmy and we have Renee that really need them. Renee more than probably anybody in our group. And that's what I root for. If I'm allowed to get on them and get my people on them here and my family, that's great. The beds let me down. They didn't get here fast enough, even though they was available. I go every day and I do some kind of work looking forward to what we can do when they do come out, getting centers all over the place. And there's so many great people in this group, guys. But what I'm trying to say is I have nothing against that girl, other than the fact she cussed so many important people out. I've yelled, I screamed at him. She cussed him out, and she'd never do this and she'd never do that. And then she was kind of like a disappearing act. But she must know magic. Because she reappeared. And now all of a sudden, she not only reappeared, but evidently because she went out there and she told it how it was. They run to her, and we have to have you. We have to have you doing this. Yeah, I'm in a very good mood tonight, guys. But see, when people waste your time sending me emails about, I need to shut up about her, we're all in this together. No, in her case, we're not. When has she ever said one thing nice to you? It's all about her. You listen to her shows, and her shows are all about her, what she's going to do, what she's going to do. I watched a show of hers where she said she wasn't going to do any redemption programs, when she got her money with only people with her friends, and she was going to dump all of her friends. I don't care. I want to work with everybody. And I'm going to concentrate on this group. So you can stop your emails about, I need to do this and I need to. You know what? If you don't like what I'm doing, and I'm going to tell anybody here and anybody who comes on here, and we all know probably who's people that's emailing us, but anybody who's doing it, if you don't like what I'm doing, start your own show. Have the kahunas to start your own show and say whatever you want about me, because sticks and stones will break my bones, but names and talking about me will never, ever hurt me. As my mom said, if you're talking about me, you're letting somebody else alone. And I would much rather someone talk about me than talk about Joe Phillips or Janet or David or Stephanie. See, because that's the kind of person I am. I'll take it all. But anyway, let's move on. Last night on Bruce, I thought he was very, very good. I don't know if any of you have talked to Mary Ann, but we had a lot of fun, me and her, yesterday. Me and Mary Ann's been talking a lot, and I think the world of Mary Ann, I think the world of Linda, and so many people on here. Cindy and naturally my partner Ron over here, Janet, John. I haven't seen John or heard from John recently. So John, you need to get in touch with me, because it's been a long time since I've got any pictures, unless I'm just not receiving stuff.
Now, you gotta go to Signal.
Now, Ron says I got to go to Signal. And I don't make it there much anymore, but I'll try to get in there. But, Michael, I haven't got any pictures of that. Boogs, Boogaloo, and Boogaroo, we're going to talk about. I'm going to talk about all the kids tonight, guys. I'm going to probably maybe go a little over my 35 minutes tonight.
Robert's became pretty good friends.
Yeah, Ron says you and Robert. I like Robert. Robert is one of my heroes on here.
Susie Q.
And then, Ron says Susie Q. And then we always have our regulars. But I mean, you just look in the chat. Here's Beth Shaw and Janet and Mike Davis and Janet again, Joe Phillips and someone, Maddox Dotson, got kicked out. What happened? Maddox Dotson, is that new? See, you talk about him and they come out of the woodwork, guys. It's just, I get, okay, here's the thing. If you can't look at my face, if you can't listen to my voice, and you can't understand, Ralph is back. I have felt better in the last 2 days than I have felt in the last 2 months. I have the drive. Linda, if you're watching, I've already got my 10,000 steps today. Linda writes me every day, and I look forward to it. And she's like me. We write books on the messenger. And, I hope everything went good with your little cat today. And I know you're going to get the $50 charge and everything else, but we're going to take care of that, Linda. We're gonna do things with animals, and my daughter-in-law is struggling through something. She was going to work the other day, 6 o'clock in the morning, had my two grandkids with her, and over a mile in the country, out of town, dogs run across the road, and she hit one of them. Black dog ran out into the field. I went out there at 6 o'clock in the morning. Brandon, my son, went out there. We couldn't find the dogs. Well, I guess someone else had hit another one. Two of the people's three dogs that they were, one of them, the one that my daughter-in-law hit, died. The other one they had to put down, and I guess they saved one. But now these people are coming after my daughter-in-law and my son because they hit them. We did everything we could. But my question is, the people whose dog it is, the dogs that are, they live in Buckingham. So they had to get out of the town and go over a mile to a mile and a half out in the country on the highway. They have a fenced-in yard. What is their dogs doing out running at that time in the morning? You know why? Because they're too lazy to get off of their rump roast and go out and take their dogs out there. And, I know these people will never see the show. I don't care. If they would and they want to, they know where I live. I'm not going to hide from them. My daughter-in-law has $4,000 damage to her car. And anybody knows me knows sometimes I get more upset when an animal dies than I do a real human being. That's just me, But as I was talking to Linda, we're going to do a lot when humanitarian project starts with the animals. I mean, my goodness gracious, you just want to get your dog in for the vet to see. Oh, just to walk in the door and say, hey, my name is Ralph Anderson. I'm here with my dog. It's $50. That's cheap because the lady that I used to take my dogs to, she's 75. And she didn't need it because her dad was the richest man in the area. It's just the greed, people. It's the greed, and we got to get away from that. But I am back. I feel great. I still have to follow the doctor's orders and calm down. They got me on so many medicines that sometimes I think I'm taking medicines on top of medicines to get to the next medicine, but that's okay. What is our goal? Is to get to the special beds. That's what our goal is. And I almost overlooked it. I almost put doctors and nurses in a way. But I want
to know how our sister's doing.
Who wants to know how the sister's doing?
Janet.
I'll get to that in a minute, Janet. Ron just said you want to know how our sister's doing. But anyway, I put things off. I talked about doctors. And let me tell you something. When I went into the hospital, I was reminded, no, they're still there to help you. They helped me. They saved me. I would not be here tonight without the doctors and the nurses. And I don't care. I used to think, why does a man want to be a nurse? Well, I found out when I was in the hospital. Because they're dang good at it. So Janet asked about my sister. I haven't talked to her for a couple of days. We exchange messages almost on a daily basis. She's in a lot of pain. She's 81 years old. She's never had a bone broken in her body. And now she's got right in here, her arm right up by the shoulder is broke. So she can't lift her arm. She's reliant upon people. I keep trying to help her, but she is a stubborn sister. She thinks she has to do everything herself. And it wouldn't be bad if it was like my mom. She was very stubborn. But my mom also had Ron living in the house with her, me a few blocks away, my brother Russ a few blocks away, and my sister lives right next door to me. So we was all within 4 or 5 blocks of my mom. So when my mom needed something, she had it. We didn't take no for an answer. Her youngest son lives in Tennessee. Her daughter lives 5 miles away and stops by once. I think she's stopping by at least once a day. But if your mom's got a broken arm, who's getting her breakfast? I volunteered to take breakfast over. I volunteered to help her with her lunch. I volunteered to do laundry. I volunteered. But she is just so stubborn. It's the Norwegian in her. We are Norwegian descent from my father. my grandfather and that. And believe me, we can have some stubbornness. So she's doing better, and I will get a report from her this weekend. I'm going over tomorrow and sitting down and visiting with her and that. But hopefully she's going to be doing really, really good. I wanted to talk real quickly before I go to the kids. I want to talk real quickly about, I picked my granddaughter up today, the little monkey. And as I went to pick her up, I said, what do you want for lunch? And she says, them little cheese and crackers and meat and juice and candy snack Lunchables. I said, okay, let's go to the store. And we went to the store and we got her one. And it was so funny because I had bought a couple of other things. And I give it to the girl. And the girl that I give it to, she hasn't been working much lately because she's in college studying to be a nurse. She graduates next year. And my granddaughter takes her Lunchable and runs it across the scanner, and it scans. She's 3 years old, and she knows how to scan products. So she just thought that was great. So I get talking to this little girl that's going to be a nurse. And I said, you know, by the time you get your nursing degree, things are going to change so much. So I forgot something in the store, and I had to go back and look. And she said, what are you talking about? And I told her about the big N and big G, and I told her about the beds, mostly about the beds. And she went and looked it up, and she goes, by the time I become a nurse, I'm going to be as important in the medical field as a doctor, ain't I? And I said, bingo, you got it. She says, oh, I can't wait to share this with all my classmates. There's where you start opening people's eyes. So I hope you guys enjoyed the picture I sent today. That was sent by Lowell Waddell. Me and Lowell used to be very, very close when he first came in, but somehow he's a Patriot, but some things happened with him that he went a different direction. He's still a Patriot, but he doesn't really do the things. Ron sent me this and said this would be good to read tonight. It's about, it was sent by Bearded Patriot. Diane sent it with 2 N's, sent it to me and him. This is Bearded Patriot, November 10th, 2023 at 2:23 p.m. I am going to share what banker has shared with me regarding our position. The CBI has been in communication with our treasury regarding the new in-country rate to be announced. The most important steps being followed right now is security measures to be followed and the various exchange locations nationwide to ensure everyone, oh, I hate when that happens. It is anticipated the announcement will be brought forward this evening or early Saturday morning. The 800 numbers then published to call and provide a zip code for your city, your personally wish to the exchange as well as the banking institution of your choice. You may receive a second 800 number during this call, but most likely you will be asked for your email address. Have the 800 number sent to you via email. I will open the room to anyone wishing to exchange thoughts. Okay, now he was just saying he would talk to people and answer questions. But, you know, me, I love to get little messages like that because it's messages that you can hang your hat on. And I did jump the gun a little bit there. I should have. I want to talk about the kids because we've neglected and talked about the kids, but I've talked about Jimmy, you know, and Renee, his mom, who the beds are there, guys. I've heard we have well over 500,000. Now, I did see this guy come out with another video. I have not had a chance to watch it. If I would, I would comment on it. As far as what she says, I don't care anymore. We're gonna do the thing. 11:11, yes. Just think tomorrow at 11:11, you can say it's 11:11 on 11:11. And I guarantee you, I will catch 11:11. But anyway, you know, for the kids, you know, little Patriot 11 with his friends, you know, Patriot Hunter and Patriot Harper and the other little girl, you know, then we have Patriot Karate Kid and Patriot Wyatt Earp, Patriot Boog Boogaloo and Boogaroo, who I got to believe them kids are just growing, and Boogs is probably just looking like, John, I'm sorry, but soon she's going to be singing the song. I tell you, there's a song for everything, John, and soon she's going to be singing the song. Why must I be a teenager in love? John, it's going to happen. But we got bigger problems than that, John, because she's a teenager. My granddaughter, little super gymnast. She's only 9 years old, and she came home today with an outfit, and I said, "Oh, that is a cute outfit, but that tying it around the waist and letting the belly show has got to go. That doesn't work for Grandpa or Papa." So then you got your grandkids and mine, Patriot Super Gymnast, Patriot 7, and it was so funny tonight. It was so funny tonight because it was Patriot 7's night to put the puppy out, and they rent a lot across the street where David, the dad, does a lot of work. And they go over there and they walk the dog over there. Why let him crap in their yard? Let him go across the yard and crap, right? No one steps in it. Well, he walked him and he walked him. He comes back over and he gets him just in his yard. Now, me and my daughter Amber is standing there looking out the window seeing this. He just gets in the yard off of the road coming across, and the dog squats and takes a dump. Comes in the house, takes the thing off, gets ready to feed the dog, and Amber, my daughter, says, "You will clean that crap up." Priceless. He looks at his mom and he says, "Why? I didn't do it. The dog did." Oh, I thought I was going to lose it. I'm telling you, I'm glad it wasn't a few weeks ago, and my heart was really bothering me. I think I'd have bought the big one there. I'd have been going, "Elizabeth, I'm coming home."
It would have been better if he says, "I don't mow the yard."
Oh, Ron says, yeah, it would have been better if he just said, "Why, Dad mows the yard." That's why I used to mow our yard all the time. I'd take my dogs out, and they'd crap, and I'd get the old pooper scooper, and I'd clean it up. Then my son decided, he goes out and buys a $3,000 mower. "Dad, you don't need to mow anymore," so I don't clean up the dog crap no more either. But I do pay my grandson $2 a week to do it. I'm not cheap, man. I pay big bucks to work. Then you got, Patriot Little Monkey, Patriot Small Hank, Little Monkey. She took her nap today, and she wakes up again, and she's just got this thing. She gives me a big smile, and she's, "You're the best grandpa." She don't say grandpa. She leaves the R out. "You're the best grandpa in the whole world." And see, yesterday when I babysat, or Wednesday when I babysat her, she was so excited because she got to go to her grandmother's the next day. She calls her Mimi. And she was so excited. And I said, "You're never excited about going there." She says, "But Grandpa, she has a new puppy." She could care less about going to Mimi's and Kiki's, her two grandmas there. All she cared about was she got to go play with the puppy. And then it made her day when she took her nap. The puppy laid with her and slept with her. And then you got little Patriot Kira, who she just growing. And I mean, she's pushing on 11 months, and then we're going to have her first birthday party 11 days before her birthday. Her birthday's the 13th. We're going to have it on the 2nd because she deserves it. Patriot little Leona, who ain't got no pictures from Mike, but believe me, I know I will. See, the thing, I figure little Leona has just been a little tired here lately or that, because, see, when she sends me pictures, she also writes me a letter. Now, how smart is that, guys? When this little girl can write a letter, then you got Patriot Hunter and Patriot Little Princess and that. And, guys, pretty sure I hit them all. If I didn't, I'm sorry. We got our college kids that they'll be coming home for holidays, and then they'll be coming home for midterms, and and can you believe that we are this far? Tomorrow is the 11th. We're exactly 2 weeks away tomorrow from 1 month till Christmas. And we're going to have the greatest Christmas ever this year. And I really believe it. And I know I'm going to have one of my greatest Christmases ever because I'm going to be here. Because what I went through, I wasn't 100% sure, but I think God put me here for a reason, and I'm going to be around for a long time. And guys, we have the greatest group of kids here. I miss some of the ones we used to have, but I think about them. I pray for them each and every day. And then it isn't even about our kids, the ones that we have here, but it's about every kid in the world, you know. And I was watching a commercial a little bit ago about cancer for kids, and now they're saying 5% of all kids does not survive. That is not acceptable. And I talk to God every day about that, 2, 3, 4 times. That is not acceptable. Every kid has to be saved. Every kid has to have a life. And as I was talking to someone the other day, we want to put together a humanitarian project where we work with the kids and we make sure they're all healthy, and we want to find them. You know, people would love to adopt today, but you can't, because, you know, my niece would love to adopt a little boy or a little girl or both, or 3 or 4 kids. They want kids bad. I had 2 nieces that are like that. They want kids bad. They would gladly take 2, 3, 4 kids. That's going to cost them $30, $40, $50, $60,000. How do you support the kids when you're giving everything you've earned away? Why? Because of the greedy people that are about ready to go. You know, the greedy people that somebody sent a video the other day and said 25 of them, you know, kind of had their necks tattooed the other day, if you understand what I mean. Let's put it this way. When they did, their feet didn't touch the floor. Ugh. And I don't want to go into that, but I want to talk about the kids and how much we love them and what we're going to do for them. Because this is about the kids, guys. Happy birthday to who? Happy early birthday, Amy. Happy birthday, Amy. Happy birthday to you. Happy early birthday, Amy. Happy birthday to you.
We forgot Tina's birthday last week.
Tina, we forgot your birthday, so happy birthday last week, Tina. Happy birthday to you. Well, congratulations, David. Kira, how are you enjoying your being home from college? I hope everything is going good and you're doing your studying, but I also hope you're being a kid and having some fun while you're in school. I know when my son went down to the University of Illinois, that was my college days. I went down there, and I tell you, I was as well known on Green Street as any college kid down there. That was the year the White Sox won the World Series, too, and I had a blast. I didn't go down there on the night that they won it because literally my son, on the night the White Sox won the World Series that year, he could not get within 10 blocks of a tavern. I mean, he sent me videos. Cars couldn't go up and down the street. People was everywhere in that town, and they was partying hardy. And I hope you're partying, but I hope you're doing it the right way. So there's where we're at now. Guys, as I've told you, I'm in a very good mood. I really believe we are close. And I'm not saying this because of what Bruce says. I'm not saying this because of others. You know, you have people out here, you know, Wolverine and Sky and the people. You really never think about this. I want everybody, if you just take a moment to listen to what I'm saying, you rarely hear anybody say anything negative unless it's just aggravation because it doesn't happen at the time. They can't keep going like that. Eventually, they're going to have everything done. Happy early birthday, Ada. Wow, a lot of early birthdays. And you know what? Since we're wishing happy early birthdays, happy late birthdays, you know, I also want to take a moment to wish all the veterans a happy Veterans Day. I want to make sure that they know that Patriot 5 and Patriot 6 group is about the the veterans, but we're also about the patriots. And I know there is a day that for patriots, but tomorrow is your day. And then, you know, Ron is a veteran, but he doesn't look at it that way because he was drafted. Okay, David, thank you. You know, he didn't really want to go to the military, but he did. And he was in what, France?
France and Germany.
But which one kicked you out?
France.
France kicked United States out. I believe it was de Gaulle who did it. And then he went to Germany. And to show you how Ron could have been ahead of the times, his job was working with computers back then. The ones that was on the wall, the big ones. When he came out of the military, if he would have pursued that, oh, yeah. But anyway, he didn't, because he wanted to be his own person. And I'm glad he did. Because if he'd have got into the computers back then, and he'd have become a snob, and he wouldn't have been my big brother. He'd have been someone that just making tons and tons of money that probably, because these people, when they make tons and tons of money, they have a way of, their nose starts sticking up, and that's not going to be how it's going to be when all of this stuff happens, because everybody's going to get the opportunity. It's not going to be, well, we pick you, but we can't pick you. So let's see what Bruce has in his readings. Okay. Where are we now? First, today was interesting. 2 nights ago, knowing we had we'd be notified yesterday, and we had timing and timeline, but no numbers. We were looking to go ahead for the go-ahead from the military and the green light from the Treasury, and we got them. And activation codes to the RC, and that was to occur yesterday, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. this morning. And they got those and the rates on the back screen and also on the front screen as well. And we got word from the RC, so we had good news. And once the RC received those codes, they'd be able to release the toll-free numbers anytime after 10:30 a.m. So we waited and didn't get them. We had a couple of updates yesterday, and we had we had this from Iraq in Kurdistan, and we were certain people were trying to bring in the USD. It's not allowed. No USD being used except in the airport when Americans are there to use it. Cut to where we are today regarding Iraq, and very early today, Thursday, the ATM machines, which have been loaded with the lower denominations, those were activated early this morning for the first time. That's new. Some of that is reaction and banned on the fiat to not be used anymore. And one reason why we don't go this morning and finally border have been agreed upon and defined for Israel and Palestine and been taken care of. Hopefully the fighting stopped. See, that's what we're waiting for, guys, is we got to get all this. If we're going to be in Big N and Big G, there can be no wars. General Finch, 10/11/2023, 2:44 p.m. Now this is new half of an hour before the call. Tonight heard that the RC and CC today would go off in the final details before we go. And this was from chances are being participated by Wells and the Treasury, and they did not say that we should have our notifications delivered. Wait a minute. And they did say that we should have our notifications delivered to us by late morning, 10:30 to 11. So we should get these and start our appointments. But with veterans on Saturday, this doesn't affect the RC, only the banks. My bank will be closed on Saturday, as many banks will, but the redemption centers will be open. In Florida, there's going to be a couple places that the banks are open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. In other places, they're probably going to be open about 12 to 14 hours a day. The other thing is we need to talk about is the rate interesting on those primary wells and other bank accounts, of which are overseen by WF for our redemption of ZIM and exchange of our currencies. We're going to be annually, we're going to be paid an interest annually called APY, annual percentage yearly. WF has agreed to an 8.4% interest rate. Now, Bruce said something there about it's a yearly thing, but he's going to be asked if he could be paid quarterly. Well, that really confused me because if you're calling it an annual percent yearly, they're going to pay you yearly. They're not going to pay you. So if you have $10 million in an account, you're going to make $850,000 on that money in a year. I mean, how long can people live with 850? And I'm not saying, I mean, what I'm saying here, guys, this is going to be the easiest way we've ever had because they're going to watch your money. You know, people say, I don't want them to be in charge. I don't want them to be in charge of my money. I'm not the happiest person in the world about the NDA, but I'm willing to sign an NDA because we need to get fluent in the community. You know, you take me, I drive a 2005 car that's got 120,000 miles rusting out. It runs great, but it's not a good looker. Okay. Now all of a sudden I'm driving maybe a 2-year-old $70,000 truck. People's going to wonder. But if they say something, I say, well, you know, you ever heard of car payments? You know, you ever heard of, I got these bills paid off, so I have enough money to, don't I deserve to have something nice? You know, you don't have to go out and flaunt it. And that's going to be people's biggest problem. That's why I'm glad that, okay, I can't talk to this person about it. I can't talk to this person. I can add some people on there. Ron can add some people on. We don't know if we're going to add anybody except me and him. When the time is right, then we'll talk to the people. But there's people, and I don't care what family you are. I don't care what friends you are. I don't care who you're dealing with. There's people out there that have big mouths. And they couldn't keep a secret if their life and their kids' life depended on it. So why put that information out there? Why look over your shoulder every time you're walking from your car to your house at night? You're looking over your shoulder worried that someone's going to be behind you. So that's all good. Oh, I'm sorry. Orlando and Miami will have RC working 24/7, and in TEHA, Texas, will have the same thing. So them are the 3 places. That's where I had heard that. Some of the wells have been paid, but he said they've only been, you know, they know the money's there, but they've only been given like $500,000. It's kind of like walk around money. I mean, how big of a wallet would you have to or a purse would you have to carry $500,000 around? I think it's more or less like a lot of money. But see, here's the bad thing about what we're about to encounter. We're going to get so much money, a lot of us, and even if you don't have currency, you're going to get a lot of money. And people are having trouble putting their mind straight around this. Me, I know what I've got. I know what I'm going to do. And you know, that pretty much covers Bruce, because I had already talked about a lot of the things. But I just wanted to say a couple of things that, yes, I have trouble the way people do things. I really hope if other people are hearing what I'm saying, don't take it the wrong way. I care for each and every one of you that do what I'm doing. I care for each and every one of your groups. Bruce, I want to be part of your group. Maybe, I don't know about work programs, but if you're doing something with kids, if you're doing something with beds, if you're doing something with animals, veterans, and there's so many more. And you know, who was it? I was talking to one of my girls the other day, and she says, Ralph, I really want to work with the animals. And she told me her ideas, and I mean, it's like it melted my heart. It's like, oh, wow, I got a leader, you know. And I won't tell Linda it was the girl, but, you know, shh, it was a secret. But, I mean, guys, there's so many things we're going to be able to do, but we got to do them right. And the jobs we're going to create and everything we're going to do. And it's just, I'm telling you, I'm ready. I'm ready. You know, I can remember when I was a kid, you know, the excitement. And this was how I know that I'm getting close to being where I want to be, because we're in a situation, the excitement that's going on. And what do I mean by excitement? Well, let's see. When I was a young guy, when I was young, I detasseled corn. For you that don't live in the Midwest or don't live around cornfields and that, and you don't know what detasseling corn is, you go and you pull the tassels off of the corn so it won't pollinate corn. And I worked for the company for 7 years. I started when I was 12. You're supposed to be 14. I started when I was 12. By the time I was 16, I had my own truck. But there was one girl that I used to like, and we dated. But she had a friend that moved in with her during the season of detasseling in the summer. That plus the fact we had the sportsman's club with a swimming pool there, so she could go swimming all summer long. And she had this saying, it's hotter than a popcorn fart. And, you know, I told you this because that's what I believe it is right now with us. I believe we're hot. We're right there. Now, I did want to pull one more thing up, and I'm not really going to go into Judy because what Judy had to say, I have covered so much of it tonight. And as I said, I am going overboard. I'm at 46 minutes, but I know my doctor's out of town today, so he's not going to watch today. And if you do, Doc, I apologize, but it's just one night. And this came from Wolverine. It was the RV highlights. My dear ones, the amount of information that is coming out is impressive. The Big G ready, GFS ready, and the fall of the dollar is still underway. Quantum beds ready and already working for some. Children rescued from you know where. The banks took that advantage of the QFS, are already ISO 20022. KRP, I thought that was in Cincinnati. Wasn't it WKRP in Cincinnati? I'm just joking. In place, the paper ticket created by criminals to steal U.S., it will only work until further notice. Quantum system activated 100%, and it's got a big red heart with a little red dot under. I remind you for the millionth time, invest, spend used paper you call dollars, because you will be the first to come out for your, I'm not going to read that word. If you are one of those who continue saving those papers, believing in stories, you're going to keep them, and they will not only serve you for the bathroom, they will also be replaced and everything. Now, that's pretty much what he had to say. But guys, I don't believe that. I don't know what's going on, but for some reason, I heard it on Phil. Now, Wolverine's talking about it, but Wolverine really likes Phil, so he might have got it there. But there's other people talking. If you have money in the bank, 401k, if you have IRS, whatever, if you have that, they want you to put it into silver and gold and or XLM or XRP. They want you to put it all into that because that's where it's coming from. They're telling you that if you hold on, and I know a guy that's probably right now in a safe in his house, and I don't talk to the gentleman like I used to, but I do talk to him on occasions. And I know in his house somewhere he has a safe. And he's probably got $20,000 in it. But if I went to him and told him, you need to do this and this and this, he'd tell me to get out of his house. And that being said, everything I've heard, and I can't believe they're going to change this. Yes, that currency is going to be gone. It's going to be dead. It's going to be kapush. It's done. We know that. But we also know they're going to give you so much time. And if I go to that person, I say, here, this is in writing right here. And by then they probably will even be talking about it on that mainstream media, that stuff that's no good. If you listen to the Hat the other night, he comes right out and tells them they're bad. But they'll probably be announcing on then. So you'll start to see it. And he's going to have the opportunity to go cash that in. Now, if he was to put it in XLM or XRP or gold or silver, Phil was saying the other day that there's one huge bank that owns more silver than probably any place in the world is about ready to implode. It's about ready to just, and if it does, he's thinking the price of silver is just going to go through the roof. I don't have money to go put into it. I tried to come up with some. I thought I had a plan to come up with some, but I don't. But see, I've covered myself extra places. I have XRP. I shared XRP with you guys a year ago. I got so excited the other day. Someone sent me a message and said, Ralph, XRP is up to 71 cents. That's pretty good. That's pretty good when me and Ron bought all that we bought for under 35. So it's doubled. Do we have a lot? No, we don't have a tremendous lot, but I'll tell you what, if it goes to, they're saying it could go higher than Bitcoin. If it goes to that, but what is enough? I mean, we have the foreign currency. We got the money that we're going to get, soon for everything that we spent and interest and birth certificates and all of that. Guys, you can only have so much. And then we're going to go to the 60s or 70 prices. It's mind blowing. And I wanted to leave you with this. We're going to have it all because we're going to be living. Huh?
We've been on an hour. Wow.
Because we're going to, no, we haven't. We're going to have it all because we're going to be living in God's heaven on earth. But with that being said, I don't want to push it anymore. I hope you've seen the excitement in me. I hope you share this video with people. I hope you understand that I went through some bad times, and yes, I got down. Yes, I was having trouble, but I truthfully believe I'm back. So don't be surprised if I don't do some surprises over the weekend, because tonight I've had more fun doing the show than I've had in a long, long time. And that means Ralph's back. Patriot 5 and Patriot 6 is ready to rock and roll. And as I said, anything you can put a song to. And the song here is, nothing's going to stop us now. Don't stop believing, because nothing's going to stop us now. Good night. God bless. Have a great weekend. Happy Veterans Day to all the veterans tomorrow. No, remember we went on 5 minutes.